So how was 2021 as a whole year? So first of all, in the year we started off with a load of trips to Woodbury Common, as we were in lockdown and we couldn't really do much in January time. So to be honest, Woodbury Common was a great local to have near me, and it helped me progress loads and get some decent riding in while we couldn't really go far. And then the time had come, we're out of lockdown. So I headed up for a Holden for a proper muddy and wet ride, although it was more getting muddy. So with the weather being horrible, it probably wasn't the best time for a ride, but I couldn't help but just getting out for a longer ride than just round Woodbury, so it was good fun. So February was quite similar to January, as I didn't do loads of riding and I headed to Woodbury Common quite a few times. I didn't really head anywhere special except Holden once or twice, but mostly just enjoying. So one other thing I did in February was test out my carbon frame by landing really heavily on a jump and absolutely bottoming out the suspension and the saddle a little too much, so it actually bent completely. So in March I headed over to Windhill for my first ever time and rode some of the more jumpy trails like this, and also some of the more techie trails like this, and it was a great variety. And it was interesting to try something different that I hadn't ridden before, as I've pretty much just been sticking to around Holden area. I also discovered a load of new off-piste trails over at Holden and shredded some of them. They're all films over on my YouTube channel already. And I also sent it down Gravedigger over at Woodbury Common in the other area. So now let's see what happened during April. So firstly, I headed up to Triscombe for a ride over in the Quantox, which I can't wait to go back to because it was really good fun there. Then I had my first trip over to Scadson Freeride Park, which was great fun, but I didn't really send much. So if you didn't realise, this isn't me jumping. I'm not that good at the moment. And after Scadson, I headed over to Old Hill to visit some of the amazing trails that they have there, and I'm recently going there, so stay tuned for that video and stay tuned to see what I hit there. And then finally, to finish off April, I headed over to Camelbak Cycle Centre around Wales and hit some of the trails there and had some great fun. So to start off May, I found a brand new off-piste trail here at Holden and I shredded it, which was great fun. And then I headed over to Exeter Bike Park for the first opening day and was one of the first people down the actual blue trail, which was great fun to be down. Quite exciting being the first one down it. So to start off June of 2021, I had a ride over at Henry and Zed's local. So it's great fun, and we even built a mini jump into a really fun section. And then I headed over to Exeter Bike Park for my second time, but with them this time. So to finish off June, I headed for an amazing, really fun ride with Henry MTB over at Holden, just doing some jumps, some steep techie features, and pretty much everything there, which was great fun to try and was good. Now let's move on to July. So July is my standard time of year where I go up to Snowdonia and have some mega fun there. So I started off by going on the trampolines at Zip World, which was great fun. So then I headed back to the campsite and did some canoeing up and down the river and up and down the lake, and also did some jumping into the lake. The next day I headed over to another Zip World, but this time I went up this roller coaster, which is really quite cool. And you're in these like kind of mini go-karty things that are attached to the track, and then you come like really fast down the hillside, and you can control the speed, which I thought was really good. Then it was time for the first proper bit of mountain biking. So for this I headed over to the Penmachno Trail, which is somewhere in the south of Wales, I think, and it was a new type of trail which I hadn't ridden before. It was quite overgrown, but it was really fun in places. Then I had to go some paddle boarding for my first time, and just so you know, I did go in the water a few times for falling off. And then it was time for my favourite mountain bike trail, the Gwydir Mawr and Gwydir Bach trail. So I've ridden these trails quite a few times now, and I really enjoy them. It's great fun, and there's some amazing features on there which you definitely should have a go at. So as it's coming near the end of June, I decided to head up to Fly Up 417 Bike Park, which is an uplifted bike park, and Camelbak Cycle Centre for a day at each shredding the trails, which was great fun. So now let's look at August. So to start off August, I headed to Exeter Bike Park with Zed and Henry MTB, which was great fun. That was mega. Hi, dropping in. Let's see it. Then I headed over to Camelbak Cycle Centre to ride the newly built Countdown into Launchpad Trail, which was great fun. I also went over and visited some of the off-piste trails over at Camelbak, which was great fun again. And I also crashed on them. I also went over and visited a brand new place called East Hill, which isn't too far away from me, and it was a great new place to ride, and I can't wait to go back there sometime, as it was quite good for being a local. In September I didn't really ride much. I only rode the same place at Holden over again, which was great fun actually, but I don't really have any footage.
No, we didn't hit the jibby jump.
In October I got my bike back from the Slyke 4 upgrade and visited Bike Park Wales, which was my first ever time there, and it was great fun. In November, I didn't really do loads of filming, and I kind of just went for some short chill rides at Holden and one short chill ride at Canop. But it was good fun. And then in the final month of the year, December, I went for a ride up at Bike Park Wales for a Christmas ride just a few days before the day it closed. So hopefully you've enjoyed all the content that I've put out this year, and hopefully enjoyed your 2021. Comment down below how it was, and if you ride, where was your favourite place, and whether you think I should visit there. So currently the time is half an hour to midnight, and I'm trying to get it out in 2021. So I'm going to leave the links down in the description for all of the videos that I've included here. Sorry if they're a little bit late, they shouldn't be too long, maybe a half an hour later, as I've still got to upload this and make a thumbnail for it. Have a good 2022, and I'll see you next year.